There was a time when the NBA playoffs meant something different, when every series felt like a war, when rivalries were real, and when the path to the finals was about grit, not algorithms. A time when you didn't need ABC or ESPN to plaster your screen with playoff graphics, even though they were much cooler in the 90s, to know you weren't watching a regular season game, because the intensity and energy bled right through your TV and leaked all over your floor. A time when fans courtside weren't too cool to wear the playoff shirt, and the entire crowd would turn itself into a singular blinding color that erupted on its feet. But something's changed, and it can be felt every season this time of year. The NBA playoffs just don't hit the same anymore. The once magical nostalgia that made watching every playoff game from round 1 to the NBA Finals has seemingly drifted away in the wind, leaving a collection of postseason skips like a 2025 Kanye West album. It's sad to admit it, but the playoffs aren't what they once were. So let's dive into it. The playoffs used to be synonymous with rivalry. They used to be personal, and you would feel the tension without even noticing it. Celtics versus Lakers meant Bird versus Magic. Pistons versus Bulls meant the Bad Boys versus Jordan. And Knicks versus Pacers meant Reggie versus Spike. These weren't just teams, they were enemies. Every year we knew the same squads were coming for each other. It was war. Now, the product itself has taken a U-turn. Game 7s aren't blood-boiling battles anymore. They're simply series deciders, followed by a friendly jersey swap and a good job hug of encouragement, along with a gushy Valentine's Day-like post on social media to uplift the enemy. It's different. The guy who just knocked you out in front of thousands and poured champagne and confetti over your grave is now the first phone call you receive in the offseason, either for a vacation on a banana boat or for a super team recruitment. The playoffs used to earn their nostalgia through the growth of teams. The 2004 Pistons, the 2011 Mavericks, the 2008 Celtics, those teams were built, not bought like the Dodgers of the 2020s. Now stars stack the deck, chase rings, and fans skip the journey just to debate legacy. When KD joined the 73-win Warriors, it wasn't just a competitive imbalance. It robbed us of a story, of a hero's journey to the mountaintop. There was no climb, no pain, just PlayStation cheat codes. It's hard to feel invested when the outcome feels inevitable. For example, sure, on the one hand, what Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green were able to accomplish through their dynasty together was fantastic. It was legendary. But at times, it was vanilla. We knew it was coming, we knew nobody had a chance of beating them except for LeBron, and we knew nobody had a chance of defeating LeBron in the Eastern Conference. So we knew unless we were from Cleveland or the Bay Area that the playoffs were just an ungratifying countdown to the offseason. Remember how the playoffs used to slow down? Teams would grind possessions, every bucket was earned, defense mattered, physicality mattered. Now, it's spacing, flopping, and 53-point attempts per game. Sure, today's skill level is unmatched, there's no question about it. But where's the identity? Playoff basketball used to look different. Now it just feels like the regular season with more commercials. We used to wait for the playoffs. They were rare, sacred, you didn't know what to expect. You felt it in the air. Now, you've seen the locker room speech before the game's even over. Every shot is a meme by halftime on Twitter. Every quote is tweeted in real time. There's no mystery, no buildup, no anticipation. The internet gave us constant access, and somehow it made the moment feel smaller. Today, we live in a what's next era. If a series isn't delivering Game 7 drama, people check out instantly. But part of the nostalgia was the wait, the grind, the emotional toll of a 7-game series. We watched the Pistons knock on the door for years. We saw Tatum and Brown lose before they won. Now fans clown or crown players based off one game. There's no patience, just ridiculous couch potato takes. But it's not all lost. There are flashes of that old school feeling. When the Kings finally made the playoffs in 2023, that crowd, that energy, that light beam, that was real. When Jimmy Butler dragged the Heat through the East as an 8 seed, we felt it. And when young squads like the Cavs or Wolves battle through adversity, it reminds us of what the playoffs can be. There's also a self-awareness factor. NBA Commissioner Adam Silver is perhaps the most responsive of all professional sports leaders, whether it be to address social issues, uplift players, or take initiative like through the NBA Cup. But most importantly, Silver listens to the fans. He levels with their perspective, tries to see the game in their eyes, and acts accordingly. The players today, however, aren't willing to budge. When Silver announced the albeit awful NBA All-Star Game format this past season, Kevin Durant was furious. But Durant's emotions were rooted more so in entitlement than understanding. Sure, the idea of a tournament-styled All-Star Game was horrendous. Even before it happened, the idea itself was just unappealing. But Silver's heart was in the right place, and Durant's wasn't. The NBA brought it upon itself by turning All-Star Weekend, formerly the most cinematic in professional sports, into a 3-hour-long layup line. So when asked by reporters about his view of the changes, Durant's response didn't come from a place of self-reflection or accountability.
Hey, Kevin Durant, how do you feel about this change?
I hate it. Absolutely hate it. It's terrible. All-Star Game, formats changing, all the formats terrible in my opinion. And we should just go back to East-West and just play a game. I think we've been trying to, bring that flair back somehow with the All-Star Weekend, but I think we just keep it traditional. But we'll see how this one works. You never know. I might be wrong. I'm just another guy with an opinion.
So sure, Durant was right, but so was everyone else. It was a lose-lose situation for the NBA all around. It was effortless, unwatchable, and demonstrated the tasteless aura that spread over the past few years. The NBA battled its viewership collapse for a reason. Whether that reason was the consumers and their ongoing war with the streaming services, the three-point frenzy that's infiltrated offenses everywhere, or a lack of storylines and interest remains up for debate. But the league had, and still has, a major issue on its hands. Put aside the Luka AD trade that miraculously netted the NBA all the buzz and made the trade deadline a bigger headline than the week leading into Super Bowl 59. The discourse on basketball has been atrocious. Stephen A is looking for any reason to say LeBron's name, and it's turned obsessive. Kendrick Perkins is turning a new leaf to get back on Boston's good side, but his analysis fizzes like flat soda. And the quote-unquote experts, all the while, are failing to highlight what's happened this season. That plays a factor. The media's failure to generate real news and instead take the cheesy clickbait route has poisoned sports for decades. Forget the fact that Ime Udoka is saving the Rockets right, because Bronny shot 3 of 12 last night in a Lakers blowout win. Let's ignore Philadelphia's crumbling future because Joel Embiid didn't punch a reporter, or because LeBron took shots 5 hours before the game in an empty arena with his shirt off. Because that's pearl-clenching stuff right there. It's not basketball, it's theater. Part of the reason why the interest isn't what it was is because of the coverage. The media is telling its viewers that nothing else matters except for LeBron, Stephen A's political campaign, and the 90s versus 2020s debate. It's cheap, played out, and has destroyed the other sports debate. Even worse, it's done everything to send the NBA down the drain instead of promote it. So yes, it's a combination of things. There's no single target to blame and shame. There are multiple factors all working and harming the product in one way or another. The NBA playoffs haven't lost all their magic, but they've changed. Some of it's the league, some of it's the fans, lots of it is the media, and some of it is just time. But if we demand stories, if we reward heart over hype, maybe, just maybe, we'll feel that playoff nostalgia again.